Hey YouTube, Motor Racing Network, Steve Post here. Another great Diecast review show. We are so glad you joined us. This show brought to you by PlanBSales.com. Let's look back and talk a little Saturday night fun at Kansas. Well, it was a lot of fun if your name is Kyle Busch. 37th career win, third win of the season, an amazing win for Kyle Busch. And what I find interesting about this is Kyle Busch is slowly but surely, well actually rapidly this year, checking off tracks he had never won at. Entering this season, there were 4 tracks that Kyle had not won at. Martinsville, Kansas, Charlotte, Pocono. Okay? Martinsville, checked it off. Kansas, checked it off. And we're going to Charlotte and we're going to Pocono soon, and there's no reason to believe that he won't be in the hunt at those tracks as well. The good news is Diecast is available. You can go to PlanBSales.com. Right in the search box in the upper right-hand corner, type in Kyle Busch, Kansas, Kyle Busch, Martinsville. Whatever it is, we can find that race-winning diecast for you. It is available at PlanBSales.com. Top 5 at Kansas, really no shockers with the performance these teams have had. Kevin Harvick finished second, Kurt Busch was third, Matt Kenseth finally shook some bad luck, had a solid day, finished fourth, and Ryan Blaney, I say no surprise, because with this rookie class of Blaney and Chase Elliott, it's no surprise those two are racing inside the top 5. A great 5th place run for Ryan Blaney, and a great weekend of racing out at Kansas Speedway. Now, when we talk about Diecast, we spend a lot of time here on Plan B Sales talking about 1/24th scale. They just show up better on the video, and that's really where a lot of our work is done. But we have 1/64th scale Diecast as well, and we have talked throughout this year about the fact that we are not ordering a lot of extra inventory, particularly of the 1/24th scale cars. That's why we're saying pre-order them, because that way you get your name on one. We are likely not going to have extras. Now, with the 1/64th scale cars, we do have a little bit better inventory of extras of those cars, so you can go on the website and search around and see what you can find. A couple examples of some really neat cars that we have. This was the Darlington combination pack that we had. Dale Earnhardt Jr. ran the Valvoline colors. The Cale Yarborough throwback paint scheme we had at Darlington last year, this available in 1/64th scale. Jeff Gordon's final race at Homestead, available in stock, 1/64th scale. Dale Earnhardt Jr., he had the Exalta paint scheme on his car at Kansas this past week. We have the 1/64th scale car available in stock now. The Hellman's car, the NASCAR Xfinity Series car for Dale Earnhardt Jr., we have that car available in 1/64th, and Tony Stewart's Code 3 Associates car available in 1/64th scale. Again, the 1/64th scale cars, we have a lot more available of those, so get on PlanBSales.com, search around, and maybe you can find something that you're looking for in our great collection of 1/64th scale cars. And now it's time for our favorite part of the YouTube video show, answering your questions. Type them in right down below, and we'll gladly get to your questions over the course of this season. Racing Dale 725 writes in and says, how many different winners do you think we'll have this year, and who will be the wild card or underdog cards to win? Okay, here's what I did. I love this question because it got me a chance to think and look at the point standings and see where everything lay. Okay, we have 6 winners so far this year, and I think there are 4 teams that were locks to win races. Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, Matt Kenseth, Martin Truex Jr. I think those teams, with their performance this year, they are locks, and I will be shocked if all 4 of those teams don't win a race. Now, who should win races? Dale Earnhardt Jr. should win a race. And I am putting the 2 super rookies in the category of should win a race. Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney, based on great performance so far this season. Okay? Wild cards, now maybe you can go with Elliott and Blaney in the wild card category. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I think a Roush car will win this year, and I like the way Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has performed across the board. I think Stenhouse might get his first NASCAR Sprint Cup Series win this season. And A.J. Allmendinger, whether it's a road course where they certainly will be favored, but even on some oval tracks, they've been running really well. Those would be my wild card picks. Okay, so what does that all mean? 6 so far, 4 locks, that takes me to 10. We've got the should wins and the wild cards, and my guess is 14, which that'll be impressive. That'll leave only 2 spots for points when we set the chase field, but I think we'll have 14 winners this season. Busch Light Cup Series writes in and says, how do you feel about the Decision 2016 cars? This is a great project that Mountain Dew has put together, and they are trying to decide whether Mountain Dew Baja Blast or Mountain Dew Pitch Black stay on the store shelves. And so you can go to Mountain Dew's website and you can log in your vote. But they took it one step further. At Richmond, they had NASCAR drivers paired up with it. The Baja Blast car was Chase Elliott, and the Pitch Black car was Casey Kane. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had the Decision car, and I loved all of them. I think I lean a little bit toward the Baja Blast color because I like that blue-green stripes that they had on it. Although Junior's green stripes, the Mountain Dew green, looked good as well. But I liked all 3 of those cars, and you can go to Mountain Dew's website and vote through July 9th on what you want to vote on. Now, if you're curious about these 3 cars, just go to planbsales.com, that little search box, 2016 Mountain Dew. Just spell out Mountain Dew, and you can see all 3 of the cars, Junior's car, as well as Casey Kane and Chase Elliott's car, and that way you can get a look at the 2016 Decision cars. This week, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series rolls into the first state, into Delaware, Dover, Delaware, for the 92nd time. Actually, it'll be the 93rd time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series racers have raced at the Monster Mile. First race, 1969, it was on July 6th. 1969. That's a great story because on the 4th of July, 2 days earlier, the NASCAR teams ran the traditional Daytona Beach morning race. They all loaded up and they all headed up north, up the East Coast, up to Dover, Delaware, and 2 days later they went in, qualified, practiced in the morning, and ran a 300-mile race, and when it was over, Richard Petty won that first race back in 1969. When we look at current drivers, man, I'm telling you, Jimmie Johnson is the man at Dover. 10 wins for Jimmie Johnson. When you look, the next closest is 3 wins. We have Ryan Newman and Tony Stewart there. 2 race winners, Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle, and Kyle Busch. And lone race wins there, Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. It is always fun. 400 miles on the Monster Mile. It is going to be a good weekend of NASCAR racing. It is a triple header weekend also. Trucks on Friday evening, Xfinity on Saturday, and NASCAR Sprint Cup Series racing on Sunday. Hey, by the way, tune in MRN and you can catch all 3 of those races. And finally, our question of the week. Last week's question is Talladega racing. Do you like Talladega style racing? And I loved your reaction to it. I loved your response. Me personally, I am not a huge fan of the Talladega style racing. I like things where drivers can control their own destiny a little bit more, but I will say this. When those cars get in formation 3 or 4 wide and go around that racetrack at 190 or 200 miles per hour, it is a spectacular sight to behold. So I get it. I can understand why folks love it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is what it is. I don't have any answers to fix it, and I'm not sure we fix it anyhow, but I'm not a huge fan of it personally, but I do think it's spectacular to watch those cars run so long, so hard, so fast, so close together. It is always exciting and intense down at Talladega Superspeedway. This week we're going to talk diecast. I want to know, what is your most prized diecast in your collection? What is the one piece? If somebody made you sell your whole collection but hang on to one piece, what would that one piece of diecast be, and why is it your most prized possession? So most prized possession is our question of the week, and I can't wait to see your answers. All of the diecast we talk about and all of the great diecast is available at planbsales.com, and make sure you participate down below with our questions or with our comments on our question of the week. Thanks for joining us on this week's edition of the Diecast Review Show. We love that you guys are getting involved with us here on YouTube. We have the comments below. Feel free to mention your comments here. Follow us on Twitter at Plan B Sales, and we'll keep you informed on what we have. And please get some back and forth conversation going, because we love talking racing and love talking with you race fans out there, and we appreciate the business you do give us.